Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, before we get started with our lesson, I want to remind you that since we are about to finish our book of grammar, which is the first book, and move on to the next book, which is a book of reading, or maybe the book of expression, I will think about it. I've created a second channel where I will be uploading these lessons. So, because right now, so far, I'm uploading my lessons into my channel, which is Madinah Abu Bilal, as you can see on the screen. But the rest of the lessons will be uploaded onto my second channel, which is Arabic with Madinah Abu Bilal. So if you want to keep learning the Arabic language with me, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, because the rest of the lessons will be uploaded onto this channel, and this main channel will be dedicated to different things. So yeah, that's what I wanted to remind you, and let's get started with our lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the 22nd lesson. This lesson, we started it in the last lesson, which was in Ramadan, and now we're gonna keep going. This lesson was dedicated to the rule which is called Al-mamnugu min as-sorf. Al-mamnugu min as-sorf is basically a bunch of nouns that do not take tanween. Yeah, they do not take tanween. And there are certain groups of al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Please remember this term. And we took a close look at these groups of al-mamnu' min as-sarf in the last lesson, and now we're gonna take a closer look, or just practice this rule within the text that came in this lesson. So yeah, let's get started. Hamidun tabibun. Hamid is a doctor. Well, there is no al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Hamidun, it has tanween, tabibun, it has tanween, because they are not a part of these groups. زوجته مدرسة. His wife is a teacher. اسمها آمنة. That's the first time we encounter this al-mamnu' min as-sarf. آمنة, it doesn't take tanween because it's al-mamnu' min as-sarf. And why is it so? Because that's a feminine proper noun, آمنة. That's why it's never gonna take tanween. حامد له أربعة أبناء. And Hamid has four kids, four sons. ابن أبناء. He has four sons. هم حمزة وعثمان وأحمد وإبراهيم. So let's take a look at every name that we got here. The first one is Hamzatu. Why is it al-mamnu' min as-sarf? Because it's masculine proper noun ending in ta marbuta. Hamzatu ta marbuta. That's why. Uthman. It doesn't end in ta marbuta. Why is it al-mamnu' min as-sarf? Because it's masculine proper noun ending in an, like Uthman, Ramadan, and Uthman is also a proper noun that ends in anu. And by the way, in the last lesson I forgot to explain, or I didn't just go into details about what is a proper noun. Now I've got a picture here. There are two types of nouns, common nouns and proper nouns. Common nouns, it's like a car. That's not a particular place, that's not a particular type of something, that's just a car. But if you're talking about something particular, then it becomes a proper pronoun. For example, car is a common noun, but its proper noun will be Audi, or whatever you call it. I don't know how you call it in English. Or Mercedes, or something like that. Biscuit is a common noun. Or rare is a proper noun. Mobile, Apple, singer, Justin Bieber, country, America. So all the names, all people's names are of course proper noun. People is a common noun, but names of the people, they are proper nouns. Therefore, Uthman, Uthmanu. It's a name of a person, a particular person, and therefore it's a proper noun, and it's also masculine. It's not feminine, and therefore these group masculine proper nouns they include this name Uthman. Okay, Ahmad. Why is it al-mamnu' min as-sarf? Because it's a masculine proper noun on the pattern of af'alu. That's the reason. Af'alu, Ahmadu. And Ibrahim is also al-mamnu' min as-sarf because non-Arabic proper nouns are also part of al-mamnu' min as-sarf. And many people are surprised when they then they find out that Ibrahim is not an Arabic name. Well, that's not an Arabic name. Uh, just like William, Williamu, or Jushu, Josh, or Jurju, George. They are not Arabic names, and Ibrahim is also not an Arabic name. Therefore, we say Ibrahimu. And in the Quran, when you read the Quran, you can see that Ibrahim never takes tanween because it's al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Ahmad wa Hamzatu talibani. Well, now we know why they are al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Ahmadu talibun mujtahidun. Ahmad is a diligent student or is a hardworking student. Wa Hamzatu talibun kaslanu. Kaslanu. It's also al-mamnu' min as-sarf because adjectives on the pattern fa'lanu, like kaslanu, malanu, mala'anu, غضبان, etc. They are part of al-mamnu' min as-sarf, part of this group. Adjectives on the pattern فعلان. قال يوسف. Yusuf is also al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Why is it so? Because it's a non-Arabic proper noun. That's why. Yusuf is also not an Arabic name. قال يوسف عندي 5 أقلام. I've got five pen. Yeah, or pens. And I know my English is getting broken. هذا قلم أحمر. This is a red pen. وهذا قلم أزرق. And this is a blue pen. وهذا قلم أخضر. This is a green pen. وهذا قلم أسود. And this is a black pen. وهذا قلم أصفر. And this is a yellow. So now we've learned the colors. And all the colors they also come without tanween. أحمر, أزرق, أخضر, أسود. You will never see these nouns having tanween. Never ever. So yeah, memorize these colors. Yep, and we'll keep going. قالت زينب. Zainab said, عندي مناديل كثيرة. I've got many napkins. Why مناديل doesn't take tanween? Because it matches the broken plural. Broken, pay attention that it's broken. مفاعيل. مفاعيل. مناديل. مفاعيل. مناديل. You see, it matches this pattern, and you're supposed to memorize these 4 patterns. When a noun comes in this pattern, it is al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Therefore, it doesn't take tanween. مناديل, مفاتيح, فناجين, and so on and so forth. We learned this in the previous lessons, but if you have forgotten it, that's totally okay, that's fine, because that's what happens when you learn a new language. But when you go over it again and again, you get a better hold of it, of this rule, and you'll be good. If you have forgotten about it, don't worry about it. هذا أبيض. And this one is white, and this one is أصفر. أصفر, it means أصفر, it means yellow. وهذا أحمر, and this one is red. وهذا أزرق, and this one is blue. قالت لها فاطمة. Fatima said to her. Well, again, Fatima has ta marbuta in the end, and feminine proper noun. Well, feminine proper noun, whether it has ta marbuta in the end or doesn't have ta marbuta in the end, it's al-mamnu' min as-sarf. All feminine names, they don't take tanween. All the names, all the feminine names, like Zainab, Aminatu, Khadijatu, Fatimatu, they all they are all al-mamnu' min as-sarf. And she says to her, to Fatima, أعندك منديل أخضر. Colors do not take tanween in the end. So do you have, well, عندك, because she's talking to a girl. That's a mistake that I constantly make in these in these lessons, because I'm used to talking to men in the Islamic university. I never talk to women because Islamic university is for men. Therefore, we talk to your peers, to the other students. They are all male. They are all men, and therefore I'm just used to saying عندك. So it's kind of unusual for me when I say عندك, because I never talk to women basically. So yeah, but in this sentence we are talking. She is talking to a woman. Therefore, she's supposed to say عندك منديل أخضر. Do you have a green napkin? She said لا ما عندي منديل أخضر. She says no, I do not have a green napkin. And ما عندي, it means I don't have. Yeah, I mean, or kerchief, yeah, kerchief. We can call it kerchief. Because basically, it's obvious that they're not talking about napkins, they're talking about a kerchief. She says, no, I do not have a green kerchief. قال فتحة. Oh, subhanallah, فتحة. طلحة. طلحة. And again, this al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's a proper masculine name with a ta marbuta in the end. That's why. Masculine proper noun ending in a ta marbuta. عندي مفاتيح كثيرة. مفاتيح matches the broken plural pattern, which is مفاعيل. He says, I've got many keys. مفاتيح keys. هذا مفتاح الغرفة. Why it doesn't have ta marbuta? Oh, ta marbuta. تنوين. Is it because it al-mamnu' min as-sarf? No. مفتاح, that's a common noun that is not one of the groups in al-mamnu' min as-sarf. It's just because مفتاح مضاف الغرفة مضاف إليه. مفتاح الغرفة. That's why. And we said that مضاف never takes tanween and it never takes alif lam. Yep. وهذا مفتاح الحقيبة. And this is a key for the bag. وهذا مفتاح السيارة. And this is a key of the car. قال سفيان. Well, again, سفيان, just like here, is a masculine proper noun ending in anu. عثمان, سفيان, فعلان. Oh, no, not here, subhanAllah. No. Not because of. It's about an adjective. I was talking about masculine proper noun ending in an. Like عثمان, سفيان. They are proper masculine nouns ending in anu. That's the reason. Yeah. في بلدنا مساجد ومدارس كثيرة. There are two nouns that are al-mamnu' min as-sarf. مساجد matches the pattern مفاعل. في مساجد. And the same goes with مدارس. مدارس مفاعل. The singular form for masajid is masjidun, and for madarisu madrasatun. Madrasatun. Yeah. So they are both al-mamnu' min as-sarf. وَفَنَادِقُ قَلِيلَةً. So there are many mosques and schools in my country, and only few hotels. فنادق. And again, فنادق مفاعل the same pattern. أهؤلاء أطباء? Are these doctors? And there is a note about أطباء. أطباء originally was أطبباء. أطبباء, like أفعلاء. أفعلاء. أطبباء. See, originally it was أطبباء. So if you were talking to people in Arabic in its original, in its original view, you would be saying أطبباء. But because of the assimilation of the two ba, the form has been slightly changed. So people do not say, you will never ever hear anybody say أطبباء, but you will hear people say أطباء. So yeah, but originally it was أطبباء, and it's also al-mamnu' min as-sorf. So when you take a look at these أطباء, you might think like, oh, it doesn't fit any of these patterns, but actually it does, because originally it was أطبباء, which is أفعلاء, this one. So if it's clear for you, alhamdulillah, that's good. If it's not clear to you, just take a close look at this note, you will get it. Just make a pause this video, think about it, and you will get it. So أطباء, it's al-mamnu' min as-sorf. And the answer is لا, هم مدرسون وهم علماء كبار. No, they are teachers and they are big scholars. علماء, just like فعلاء. علماء فعلاء. That's why it's al-mamnu' min as-sorf. It never takes tanween. So yeah, that's how it is. And here we have these groups of al-mamnu' min as-sarf, and we got all of them here, so we don't need to, well, yeah, just have all this information in English, so that's a lot more convenient for you. We don't need to stop by here because we've already learned these groups. And there is only one exercise. It says read all these words with putting harakat in place. So Muhammadun, of course, in the end we've got waw and tanween because it's not al-mamnu' min as-sarf. It's not one of these 8 groups that we learned in this explanation book. Khalidun also does not take tanween. Maryamu, it is al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's a feminine proper noun. Fatimatu is also a feminine proper noun, therefore it is al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Abbasun, it's not al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Hamzatu is al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's a masculine proper noun ending in ta marbutan. Masajidu, al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it matches the pattern mafa'ilu. And kutubun, it's not al-mamnu' min as-sarf. It doesn't match any of these groups. So yeah, I think well, you can do it yourself. I think you don't need my help. Okay, let me go through all of these words. Who knows, maybe some things that they won't be clear for you. I'll just go with you and stick with me. أقلام, it's not al-mamnu' min as-sarf again because it doesn't belong to any of these groups. Manadilu, it is al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it matches this pattern. Mafa'ilu, manadilu. Buyutun, not al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Zumala'u, it is al-mamnu' min as-sarf because Zumala'u, where is it? Fu'ala'u, see, it matches the pattern. Fu'ala'u, Zumala'u. Landanu, it is al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's a non-Arabic proper noun. Landanu. Sufyanu, al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's a non-Arabic proper noun. Hamidun, It's not al-mamnu' min as-sarf. Ahmadu al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's a masculine proper noun of the parent of af'alu. Ibrahimu al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's a non-Arabic proper noun. Makkatu al-mamnu' min as-sarf. The seventh group again. So you'll never hear anybody say Makkatun. It's Makkatu. Or just fi Makkah. Fi Makkah. That's how they say it. زينب الممنوع من الصرف. أصدقاء الممنوع من الصرف. And when I say الممنوع من الصرف, you just take a look here and you will find it. مدرسات not الممنوع من الصرف is not الممنوع من الصرف. محمود is not الممنوع من الصرف. بغداد الممنوع من الصرف. جميل it's not الممنوع من الصرف. كبير it's not الممنوع من الصرف. أكبر الممنوع من الصرف because it's an adjective on the pattern أفعل. أكبر it means bigger. Yeah, that's why it is الممنوع من الصرف. مجتهد is not الممنوع من الصرف. طويل is not الممنوع من الصرف. It's an adjective but it's not on the pattern أفعل. طويل أفعل. You see, the patterns are absolutely different. كسلان. كسلان. Well, adjectives on the pattern فعلان. كسلان فعلان. That's why it's الممنوع من الصرف. طلاب. It's not الممنوع من الصرف. فقراء الممنوع من الصرف because of this pattern. علي not الممنوع من الصرف. باكستان الممنوع من الصرف non-Arabic proper noun. باكستان. عمار is not الممنوع من الصرف. سيارات is not الممنوع من الصرف. أحمر. أحمر is الممنوع من الصرف because it's an adjective on the pattern أفعل. أسود it means black. أحمر means red. You've got all these words here. إسماعيل الممنوع من الصرف just like Ibrahim. باريس الممنوع من الصرف it means Paris. Paris, whatever you call it. باب is not الممنوع من الصرف. قلم is not الممنوع من الصرف. مدارس. مفاعل. مفاعل. مساجد. مدارس الممنوع من الصرف. جدة. جدة it's non-Arabic proper noun. No, I think it's a masculine proper noun ending. No, it's not masculine because that's city. Juddatun. Well, I've got to think about it because Juddatun, all the names of the cities, they are not masculine. They are feminine by default. That's how it is in Arabic. And therefore, I think it is not al-mamnu' min as-sarf. So it's just Juddatun. Oh, wait a second. Feminine proper nouns. Feminine proper nouns. It's feminine because that's the name of the city. And that's a proper noun because it's the name of the city. Yeah, that's al-mamnu' min as-sarf because it's feminine proper noun. That's a city that is located here in Saudi Arabia. There are 4 million people who live there. It's called Jeddah, Juddatu in Arabic, but in English they say Jeddah, Jeddah. That's how they call it. مفاتيح is الممنوع من الصرف. Yeah, it's الممنوع من الصرف. مدرسة it is not الممنوع من الصرف. ملآن الممنوع من الصرف. Here it is. مكاتب الممنوع من الصرف. قريب is not الممنوع من الصرف. أسامة الممنوع من الصرف because it's a masculine proper noun ending in ta marbuta. So that's it. That's it for this lesson. Inshallah, I will see you in the last lesson next time. And until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.